everyone. It's Real and Raw with Lynn or Chris. I don't know. Who are you?
I'm Brian. And
he's Brian. I'm Jeff.
Jeff.
I'm Jeff. Yeah, I'm Chris's brother.
Well, you
didn't know that?
You look.
Yeah, no, there's two of us. There's two of us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm the smart one.
You're the smart one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the cute one.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Who needs Chris when we got Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff's in the house. What's up?
That's party okay. Before you guys got on here, I was like, you want
Beavis and Butthead or what? You were Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, something like that.
You need TP for my bunghole. TP for my bunghole. Did you hear they're coming out with an extended movie? I think it's awesome. Winger's going to star in it.
Winger. Well, you know what's
Hip Winger.
He's only 17. There's a cancel concert. They should be banning the Winger song. I'm just kidding. That's a fucking other conversation.
Hip Winger. Wow.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to play around with something here because I don't know.
So welcome to everybody. We've reached Friday, and a couple weeks ago, Lynn and I started to do a more improv-based show. Pamela Aubrey, thank you for being here. And she'll be actually our guest next Friday.
Next week.
Yeah. And the beautiful part is we have absolutely no idea what we're talking about next week, so this will be interesting. That she signed up for something she doesn't know anything about. So
go easy on her. Go easy on her.
Oh, she'll be awesome.
As we have our loyal listeners with us, and Chris is following. Thank you for being with us today, Christopher.
Hell yeah, I'm
for
excited.
Everybody catching the replay, we're happy you're here, and we're going to be decompressing the past week in phrases and words that relate to self-help, and just do a round robin, quick-witted, words or anything that just, off the cuff that speak to you about that. And we'll try to get through as many topics and words and phrases as we can. So
I have to give a disclaimer. If we're gonna go like that off the cuff, I cannot guarantee or filter anything that might come out of my mouth. So
excellent. Yeah. Well, it is real and raw. So
I love it. You guys are rock stars. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you know what, Chris? Did I spell your name right there? No, I didn't. I am so dyslexic. It's on the bottom. I swear.
And then Lynn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been nice being on your show. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. I'm just kidding.
Hey, hold on.
I'm week of tough love. That was last week, Lynn. So.
I know, right? All right.
She's got stardom in her eyes. She's like, yeah. Let me just see what's going on in here.
Well, I don't know.
Let me get my assistant to do it.
I don't know.
It might be those intermittent wipers that you want on our next vehicle.
Shut the front door off. No, seriously.
Go big, baby. Intermittent wipers are where it's at.
Christopher, can you help me out on what was I doing last night, Christopher? What did you check out last night?
What were you doing last night? You were in a pitch room with Mo Rock and Jay Nolan and a bunch of other people for like hours on end listening to people pitch to be on the TV show.
Yeah, and I just had a little. I am so glad that I got carried by all my moderators, because I was just so in awe of the whole situation that I was like, what's my name? What you guys doing? What? I even heard Joy say, she goes, yeah, to be interviewed by Lynn. I'm like, huh? Which Lynn? I mean, like, I was just like, so whatever, just because the panel was just amazing. We were there for 8 hours, people trying to pitch their hearts out for a spot on, and it's all, free advertisement on a TV network. It was just too much, but I saw you popping in and every now and then, and I really thank you for the support. It was just really awesome. Great stories. People it's life-changing over there. Now, if I can get my Brian Kelm to show up so we can do something and impact people there, it's going to be outrageous. So you came to the right place today, my friend, because we're just being us, unfiltered. And who better to have than the unfiltered boss, my Christopher, my brother.
What's up? Unfiltered, raw, and unscripted, and everything in between.
So that's why you're here.
The cookie. I'm like, you guys know, I love improv. So are we ready to get started?
Let's rock and roll. What's up, Tracy? Good to see you. Pamela, good to see you. Thank you guys for being here. Let's rock and roll.
So,
what are we doing?
So everybody that has watched us over the past couple weeks on Fridays, it's this is all for your amusement and our embarrassment. So enjoy it fully.
Yeah, you see,
Please
Pam
do.
said, she goes, "You guys are cracking me up. I'm always game for some fun." Yeah, she's my soul sister. We actually spent real space together and hugging each other, and we didn't talk. We just smiled and hugged each other. That was our time together. It was awesome.
And Pamela, in true confession, it is so bold and courageous of you to volunteer for a show that you don't know what we're going to talk about. So kudos to you for watching our show and participating and throwing yourself into the lion's den, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys plenty of ideas of what you can do. After I get to feel what you do here, then I'll give you lots of ideas. She'll have
That's
lots
awesome.
of fun.
Which, by the way, I want to give some plug. I want you to plug yourself here real quick. I don't mean that kind of plug yourself, but I would like for you to take a moment and tell everybody what show. You've got a show with Pamela, and you got your own show, and you got one with Scott. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so I mean, well, essentially, Jesus Christ, full screen. I'm scared. Don't do that. Where did everybody go? I love it when people put full screen on my thing, and they're like, "Chris, are you there, Chris?" Nope, you're on front of 10 million people, and they go, "No, no, seriously, no." Pam and I have our show every other Thursday night called Rainbows in Real Life, where we interview people who are game changers in the universe, who are bringing greatness to the world through their nonprofit organizations or through their charitable opportunities that they actually go out there and make the world a better place. So we interview those individuals to bridge the gap of what's going on here in the world, to be the positive ray of light, to be the bridge of some of the discussions that are going on. And then, of course, my show, Raw and Unscripted, kind of tags on to yours is a little bit. So Raw and Unscripted is every Tuesday night. That's just myself and potentially a guest where we just talk about anything that deals with the fact of what we need to do to get through life. It's Raw and Unscripted. It's powerful motivation, inspiration, education. I'm the No Excuses coach. And then also Friday night, like tonight, we have the Unfiltered Experience with myself and Scott Goyette, where again, we interview amazing people who are making impacts in the world. And we have deep, deep conversations about social issues and about life issues. And tonight we actually have Daniel Bruce Levin, the author of The Mosaic, and also formerly of Hay House Publishing, who's going to be on our show tonight. And we're going to be celebrating Scotty's birthday tonight. So we're having a blast. So thank you guys for the plugs. Yeah. And I just love and have you guys. I'm going to have you guys on our shows. So just the fact that we're vibing and we're sharing our gifts is just a beautiful thing. So thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. And it's so much love and appreciation here. I can't even stand it. Like I said, I'm just overwhelmed by the fact that I'm surrounded by people that I wish I'd been around all my life. That's all I can say, truly. So
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm speechless and when I speak from the heart, because you've been there for a lot of my vulnerable times. So I thank you, my friend.
You are most welcome. It's a family. It's a family.
It is. It's a family that's very healthy. Oh, and then we got the commentator, boy, and I thought I could talk without taking a breath. Jerry.
I know. And Jerry. actually in all true transparency, I have a note that says right in front of me, talk slower. I have a note that says that, but I don't often read the note.
But you know what? That's truly your passion. It's excitement. It's your passion. And, it's a little out of your comfort zone. Like when I came to your show and I had diarrhea, it was like, it's so weird to be on the other side and you're like, let's get this shit on the go. Let's going. Which, by the way, brings us that we got lots of people watching us right now. And I thank you guys for that. So let's get going with the surefire improv. And Brian, do you want to give you want to set up now I'm learning how to moderate. You want to set up the room for us? Shit, sure. I didn't want to learn that, but now I gotta learn that stuff.
So for everybody that's joining us, I want to thank all of our loyal listeners and anybody catching the replay. Every Friday we do an improv style show where we take all the words and phrases and anything, any Lynnisms that stood out, and they all go into a bag or a whatever. And I pull them out at random, and we have just a few seconds to be top of mind with our reaction. And as Christopher says, whatever he says goes. And that's quite the same for both of us. So Tracy said, I love having you superhumans in my world. All of you guys keep up the great work. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. And Jerry says, I have the same issue. I've been timed at, wow, 10,000 words an hour.
It's like
auctioneer.
Excuse me, teacher, can I get a transcription of that?
Yeah, it would be funny to see how the transcripts would work with that shit. I mean, this is what he really said, but this is what they only heard. That would be a great test.
If they did a timestamp with that, they would like shake their head to be like, is that humanly possible for somebody to talk that fast?
Yeah, like pitch, like a speed, the way they, the speed of a ball,
the radar.
Radar, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Radar,
the speed of a ball. Goes fast. Good job.
You know what? I've got the dyslexic brain working today, so this is going to be funnier than shit. It's just that's the disclaimer here. I am still, when I get overwhelmed and excited, and I'm humbled by just being surrounded so many people.
That comes from the transcription.
What did he say? Oh yeah,
that comes from the transcription.
There you go. It's just I sometimes I realize that I used to be very catatonic in traumatic situations. And so now that I'm past that, it's still, that's just the way sometimes I can't compose myself when I need to. So I'm accepting it. I'm embracing it, and I'm just laughing my way through it, which really helps combat the nervositis. So I'm good. But I just wanted to give you the little insight and disclaimer, because at least you guys know some days I'm articulate and some days I'm not. So I'm going to get back into more writing, so that it'll help me speaking. So anyways,
okay,
we're ready to roll.
Let's go.
We're ready to rock. Let's bring it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ding, 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 or who knows what'll come out of my mouth, but we want to keep this moving and get through as many words as we can. So Lynn, well, actually, Christopher, your first phrase, and this is a Lynnism.
Okay.
Wet wood. What say you? What comes to mind? Wet wood.
Wet wood is what happens when you pee on it.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Am I supposed to go deeper than that?
However you want to go. This is your floor.
So wet wood is what happens when you pee on it. And usually when you have to pee on it, it means you're frustrated. So I sit there and tell people, like, don't wet your wood. Don't pee yourself. Don't have, motivational situations where you're just absolutely losing control of your body fluids, and then you have to go tell somebody wet wood. So yeah, that's my definition of wet wood.
Okay. So, Lynn, what say you? Because this is your Lynnism. So, wet wood. Indulge us.
Wet wood recap here. For those of you that missed it, was wet wood means that when we all have a light and a spark in our hearts and that our soul, and you need to surround yourself that when you have that small spark that's ready to die, that you go ahead and the kindling and the wood that you put around you to build that fire, to the ambers get to where your light is shining. I said, don't have any wet wood around, because wet wood won't work in this situation. I'm Lynn and I'm done. Dang!
So wet wood for me can either firm up something that's going on in your life. Like there are actual woods out there in the world that actually firm up and become stronger with wood. They actually live in wood, or they actually live in water, and other woods that break down by the use of water. So which wood are you?
I don't know, but Tracy says, is that morning wood that's been dipped?
Is that morning wood that's been dipped?
And then Jerry says, so when I get frustrated, I need to start peeing on wood.
Hey, it's a calming release. It's a calming release. Go find your piece of good oak.
I will add this to my fireplace show.
Yeah, you got a piece of good oak, and you pee on it. You pee on that wood.
I think my Lynnism book needs to start out with wet wood. What you think?
Okay, so Jerry, if there's one way that you can work in the title of your upcoming show with wet wood in the title, not only will you get kudos from us, but you'll probably get a lot of viewers wondering what the heck are you talking about. Just saying.
We're gonna be in the wet wood of Lynn's wet wood area.
We got the wet wood bandits.
Wet wood.
Wet wood bandits. Wet wood bandits.
I'm giving wet wood a new name.
Wet wood woodies. Oh, wait a minute.
What would you do with a wet wood?
Oh, wow.
Get away from it, that's for sure.
Wow, look at, hey, Christopher, I want to call something out. Look at Lynn's face right now. Okay?
Shut up.
Yeah. Oh.
She's covered it up with her hand.
Oh, what are you doing, Lynn?
I turned Casper and I turned really red. So shut up.
I could see that. I could see that. Everything on the screen is red.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Christopher.
Next one.
Well, actually, Lynn, you go next.
next.
Are you willing to pay the price in life? Go.
Are you willing to pay the price, the fact that your impact on what you do today will affect your families, your children, and generations to come? I have learned that I am blessed that my daughter talks to me after I didn't know any better. I didn't do any better, and I couldn't do any better for myself. But my daughter broke the mold by confronting the things I did that hurt her. Kids are to be seen and to be heard, and kids do matter, and kids have their own perspective, but you got to realize they're always watching. So that's where I'm going to leave that alone there right now. But it's very, very important to take note that what you do affects your family and your families for forever, especially your children. Don't make the mistake to realize the impact that you have. Even if you can't do better, just know that they have the right when they're adults to tell you their side, their perception. And that perception, we don't understand our impact or what people think. Everything's miscommunication, and having that communication with your children, sometimes it's a blessing if you live long enough to have those conversations. I'm done.
Christopher, what say you? Are you willing to pay the price?
Repeat the question again, because I was really actually drawn into her answer.
Sure. Are you willing to pay the price in life?
Are you willing to pay the price in life? There's two prices in life, honestly. And one of the prices is the fact that you have to get off your ass and do stuff. And the other price is that you have to pay is that later on in life, you can look back and be regretful for the fact that you didn't get off your ass and do things. So there's two prices to pay. And I look at that in any way, shape, or form. People sit there and complain about how expensive it is to take care of themselves and how expensive it is to eat right. But then, I've seen people go from I've actually seen people go from bitching about that stuff and not on time to exercise to being on 20 different medications and going, holy shit, I wish I would have. Right. So there's two prices in life to pay. You can pay the price of regret, or you can pay the price of getting off your ass. And that is like dead fast, hard truth.
Yeah. So for me, are you willing to pay the price in life? There is only one way, and it's either you do or you don't. And I've noticed that people that are not willing to pay the price, they try to drag down those that are, right? As if they have some, DNA that is so much different, as if they had the red carpet rolled out on them, or for them. And for those that are willing to pay the price, they're on that quest, they're on that journey, and anything that does not contribute to that journey, they disregard it. They got other stuff to do.
And I'm just going to add, remember, the price you pay, whatever you did, you need to own up that you got what you gave or you didn't give. And that's truly, people say different excuses. There is no excuses. You did or you didn't, especially those of you that know better and didn't do better. There is definitely no excuse there. Mm-hmm. It's Jerry better to say I'm glad I did instead of I wish I had. Absolutely.
Yep.
Amen, Jerry. Amen, man.
Yep.
I love Jerry.
So I'll take this next one, starting it off. The word is perception. So for me, perception is very simple. Everybody has one, and you either respect it or you don't. If to accept the fact that you have your viewpoint, and if you allow another person to share their viewpoint, you might not agree with it, but there's a place to take on what somebody else's point of view is. And when you're in a conversation with somebody, simply saying, wow, that's interesting, or tell me more, is a lot better off than to feeling like you have to move somebody to your opinion. If you're just in the space of dealing, of understanding and respecting somebody's perception, you're gonna learn a lot more about yourself and about them. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go real quick. Okay. Perception is something that I'll use an example, a true example of perception is if you go to the doctor and he says you have cancer and he tells you all this other stuff, you may be stuck on the word cancer and you didn't hear anything else. Right. And you didn't hear that he says you got cancer, but it's a curable one. You didn't hear the curable one, or you didn't hear the solution, or you didn't hear nothing else. You're stuck on this. So your perception is you leave that office because you're overwhelmed and you're like, I'm going to die tomorrow. Whereas that's not the perception. That's not what he said. And then there's the other problem is not saying, doctor, what do you mean that I have cancer? Can you explain other than cancer what we're talking about? So it's a perception that you take and you carry and you make your own when you don't have the clarity of mind at the moment to understand it. So I always highly recommend people to make sure that you're understanding the perception that they're trying to articulate to you, because there's always so much room for error of understanding. So that's my thing on perception.
No, you both are spot on. And my idea with perception is reality. And it's a little bit of both of what you guys were saying, probably said in a little bit different way. But I always believe that perception is reality. And I believe that perception is also basically a sister cousin to assumption. So if I have a perception of somebody, then that really is an assumption. And what do assumptions do? We all know that thing. But for me, assumptions are opportunities for us to get clarity and actually make it a confirmation. So if I have a perception about somebody, if I perceive something about myself, then that perception, if I believe that to be true, then that perception becomes a reality, versus the fact that I can take that perception and expand upon it, especially this day and age, to be able to have conversations with people and say, listen, I see this way. Am I perceiving this correctly? Am I assuming this correctly? And you can have that conversation to be able to find out what the real truth is, so you don't walk away thinking something different than from what actually is, and then have to come back to it later, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 years or whatever it is, and then find out the real truth. So I'm always a fan of making sure your perceptions are accurate and questioning those. And especially for ourselves, if our perception of ourselves is that we're losers, that's what we're going to continue to cycle through. So you have to change your perception, you have to change your belief, then you change your actions, and then you change your results. So yeah, perception is super huge for me. Great question. Great one.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Does he breathe?
Again, does he breathe?
I was talking slow.
Well, Christopher, as you were in the zone, I'm like, where's that Post-it note?
Do you have that Post-it note close to the camera? Just put it back. Oh, hi, Shannon. Thanks for coming.
Perception is the opportunity to.
No, don't even go there. We got to get. You see, the thing is he's got to go here in a little bit. So he's trying to hurry it along. So we're trying. So go for it.
Okay, so physical declutter. Christopher, what say you? The two words are physical declutter.
Get rid of shit that's not serving you. Physical declutter. I mean, if you have too much stuff fogging, blocking your frontal mind, if you walk into your workspace every day and the first thing you say is, oh my God, I got to clean this mess up, then that's physical declutter. You have to go through there and determine what it is that you need. If you haven't used it in the last 6 months, put it in a box and save it for another 6 months. If you don't go into that box at all, throw that box away or donate it. Get rid of the clutter, because that's also saying something about what it is that we're doing to ourselves, that we have a shopping situation, or we have an issue of not being able to let go or process, what's been gone. So physical decluttering is super, super important. Keep your spaces clean, keep what you need. I'm not suggesting being a minimalist, but don't walk into areas of your house or your life and find clutter and be frustrated about that. You got to get rid of that. And then you start opening up space in your mind for other things. So yeah, get rid of that clutter.
Okay. Lynn, go ahead. Physical declutter.
Physical declutter really helps clear the mind. And when you're by yourself, or when you're in an area where you feel more peace with less, you truly do. And I mean, just to visually look at it, I mean, I rather have, if I'm going to have clutter, put it in a box where I can't see it. I'm that kind of girl. If I'm going to keep it, where can it be? And if not, I'm not going to have it. So I've been dejunking the last 10 years of my life, and I'm getting close to the end of it, but it's exciting. I still got one bedroom left. But it really does make a difference. I mean, put it this way. I've taken things from my bedroom that I'm like, okay, I'll put it in that room to figure out how I want to have everything, because I realize the impact and how much clarity I have in my mind without seeing because most of us are visual people. So if you're visually looking at that clutter, how can you visually see in your mind's pictures the clarity? You don't have clarity in one place, it'll affect another place. So I'm done.
Okay.
True.
So for me, it's a few short words. Keep it, sell it, donate it. The other two words are fulfilling or purposeful. If it doesn't apply to those things, get rid of it.
Nope.
Amen, Brian. Beautiful.
Yep, that put away, throw away, and give away is really a true concept. And sometimes people have a hard time even doing that. And then you really know you kind of have an issue.
And just
somewhere.
So everybody's clear, moving it from one part of your house to another and not looking at it is not decluttering.
I know, Brian. I know. You impacted one person, and here she is.
It wasn't meant to go towards anybody, but it's don't fool yourself to believe that it's like, I'm going to move this here to my garage. Well, then your garage is going to become full.
I'm admitting how true that is, and how, like I said, my dog, I feel so much better since I make my bed and my dog doesn't like it, but I feel better. I don't feel better about how my dog feels about it, but that's okay. I'll go to therapy for that. No, just kidding.
Make your bed every day. I make my bed every day.
Oh man. And that's what I mean. It's just that, even making your bed makes you feel better. I mean, it just does, and so, but
you find such pretty things as you dig.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what, Brian, a little side note, Steve's girlfriend actually messaged me, and she's on her third day of 30 days of decluttering because she heard our show. So
that's awesome.
We haven't impacted somebody. So good job, Jackie, if you're watching.
Yeah. Anyhow, good job, Jackie.
Okay.
So the next word, Lynn, you'll start us off. Your deplug is the word. Deplug. What's the
deplug from decluttering? I mean, deplug from.
What kind of plug are you talking about?
Deplug. I said deplug.
Deplug, boss. Deplug. Put it in your butt. The plug. Put the butt in your plug. Put the plug in your plug.
See, just like anything, just like a good bowel movement, just like a get good whatever. I mean, sometimes you just gotta have the start to go for it to flow.
Did you just tell everybody to have a good shit? You need to deplug that motherfucker.
Shit. That's right. Deplug. Let it go. You got a tub that's full of water. Deplug it. There you go. So deplug your issues and deplug all that baggage from your life. You're not there anymore. Don't go there, and just start over and create something new. I'm done.
Christopher, what say you? Deplug.
I mean, I have a vision of Hervé Villachez with a butt plug going, Mr. Rourke, you need to plug. No, deplug.
Hey, hold on. Shannon said, let it out.
Let it out. Yes. Do you know how much excrement you have in your bowels right now? Speaking of which, actually, it's a true story. You have
32 feet.
Pounds. Yeah, you have a few pounds of unprocessed clutter in your colon.
No shit, literally, no shit.
But for me to deplug, I mean, thinking about that, deplugging is actually, the same thing as unplugging, obviously. And it's important for our own, self-actualization, for our own growth to be able to unplug. For me personally, I go take a camping trip, at least once or twice a year for a couple of days. I get away from everything and I just unplug, and I just really get away from electronics, and I get reset, So sometimes we get so plugged into social media. We get so plugged into everything that we're doing. We have our cell phone. We go from one thing to the next thing. We have to be busy to show that we're validating that we're worthy and we're working and everything. But you really have to deplug. You have to unplug. You have to go out there and realize also of everything you have plugged in. I think about a switchboard, right? And I look at my life as a switchboard. With as crazy as I am and as energetic as I am, imagine a switchboard, if anybody knows what those still are. So I'm sometimes pulling wires out saying, okay, Chris, you've got 3 shows, no more plugging in another show. Even if somebody approaches you, we could do a show on Saturday, no more plugging in shows, so you have to make sure what you're plugging into and making sure that you're plugging into yourself most of all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we appreciate and value your time. So thank you again from the bottom of our heart that you're doing this. Thank you.
Oh no, I love this. This is fun. I do this all day. All day.
All right, what's next? Oh, wait. What's she saying here?
So Shannon says, yes, I'm going to the beach and I will not have my phone. Wow, good for you.
There you go.
Good job.
So deplugging to me is very simple. It's an understanding and an honesty within yourself that you know that you need to do something different. Whatever you have going on is not working. And you may not know how to do it, but it's a muscle that you condition that I need to step away from this. And eventually you do it a little at a time, minute by minute, whatever, or you find a time to just disconnect. And if it doesn't serve you, get rid of it. If it doesn't help you, if it takes you away from who you truly are, get rid of it. Okay.
That is such an important thing, Brian. I mean, it's such an important statement to say. I always tell people, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now working for me or against me? And if people just ask themselves that question and they're honest, is this working for me or against me? And they make that decision right then to no longer do that. It's amazing what transformations people can have in their life.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's like, are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for this version of yourself that somebody else wants you to be?
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
And I'm so glad that my Lynnisms, you guys understand me so well. So people out there, just so that you know, connect to people in your tribe that they humor you and they seem to understand where you're coming from. I'm blessed.
Well, I'm glad that now we have a term for it. It's called Lynnisms. So we're going to keep those moving.
I know.
Lynnisms. Tracy says, thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. Excellent save, Chris. I don't know what I saved, but hopefully somebody.
Oh, wait,
okay, so let's see here. I should stay connected to you all. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
follow all of us. Follow Christopher for sure. We're all like-minded tribe. We're learning that we don't thrive without our tribe. We all collectively find that we don't need the burden to feel perfect. We just need to know that it's nice. We're having we're human beings, spiritual beings having human being experience. Human being. I'm going to call it being now. Anyways, go on.
It sounds like that should be in a book somewhere, Lynn. Thrive in your tribe.
Thrive in your tribe. Misfits for life. That's what I say. My tribe, misfits for life, or the unfiltered crew.
Okay, so let's keep moving here before you have to leave. Okay, get out of your own way. I'll start this one. So get out of your own way. Very simple. Is you do your own thing, right? You know that you're the only competition you have in life. I don't believe the mumbo jumbo of corporate USA that it's like you're competing with all these other people. Nobody can determine how you're going to serve your customers. Nobody can determine how you do what you do. That's you, and that's what makes you distinctive. That's what makes you different. And so getting out of your own way is that you don't have it all figured out. You're vulnerable, you're transparent, and you know that we all have stuff going on in our lives. And the more that we're able to just live life in that stuff, knowing that we're not perfect and we never will be, I think is a lot better off than thinking you got it all together and you're just hiding and being fake. So, okay, who's next?
I'll take it real quick.
Go for it.
Get out of your own way is basically, actually I should let Chris go, but getting out of your own way is things like we get stuck in so many excuses, and we like sit there going, oh, that's a good excuse. Okay. We give ourselves permission with some lame ass excuses. But when you realize that every excuse is an excuse and you have nowhere to hide, but to ask something different of yourself. And that means, like, good example. I mean, my daughter, she's an instructor. She's a beautician. My hair looks like shit. I could say, oh man, I could say I'm sick or something, just not to come here because my hair looks like shit. But you know what? That's an excuse. I don't care. You come here, you're going to judge me for my hair because even though it's like a beaver all in my hair and whatnot, I don't care. So that's not the point. What I'm saying is we can be stuck in all these old ways of thinking and old excuses that just don't serve you. When you let go of them, it's amazing. You're like, again, that's a deplug and declutterizing your brain, is to know to just let go. Seriously, let go and say, who the hell am I? Who the hell is this voice that I hear every day that's giving me great advice? And I don't freaking even listen to that. Let go of, if you heard that you're going down the road and you're supposed to take a right and you go, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a left, and you fuck up. Come on, people. Let's let go. The second guessing ourselves. Let's just go with the moment, because the moment is always right to just be the way you are, and get out of your own way, basically. Don't be in the left lane, go in the right lane, but just stay in the lane and go. I'm done.
Stay in the lane and go. So, great question. Get out of your own way. I had so many different answers come into that, because that's what I do is I help people get out of their own way. I help people change their perception and their belief systems about their past, present, and their future. So what came to mind really quickly was the fact that there's two videos or two situations that I can advise us all to go look at. Jump by Steve Harvey, the video Jump by Steve Harvey. It's less than 2 minutes. Get out of your own way means you have to jump. You have to make a determination that what you're doing is no longer working. And if you can't get out of your own way, then you need help with somebody to get you out of your own way. And that's why coaches exist. That's why therapists exist. That's why accountability partners exist. That's why the internet exists. So if you are in your own way, then it is your choice. Viktor Frankl, there's a book behind me right here. Actually, I'll just take this opportunity to plug it because I get no commissions. But this book right here, Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. If you are in your own way, read this book. Read this book. You know how many times I tell people to read this book, and I wonder how many times I keep it right here for a reason. I wonder how many people go out and buy this book when I tell them that you read this book, you read those pages, your life will change. That's getting out of your own way. If I'm telling you something and I'm saying this will change your life and you're not on Amazon ordering it, you're an idiot. period. If you're in your own way, if you're not super successful in doing everything you want to do and you don't order this book, you are in your own way, ladies and gentlemen. Man's Search for Meaning. He spends his whole time in a concentration camp, and he tells you no matter what he goes through that nobody can tell you how to feel and how to think. If somebody's telling you how to feel and how to think, you need to read that book. And then the second part of that is go look for Mel Robbins, not related to Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, 54321. Get the fuck out of your own way. 54321. I use it all the time. I used it yesterday. I didn't feel like getting on the exercise bike, and I literally went 54321. I shot out of bed. I started putting my socks on. I walked over the exercise bike, and I got on and I started pedaling. I felt better. I did not want to do it. I did the 54321. Boom. I got out of my own way, and guess what? I got results. That's what it takes. You have to get out of your own way, or don't bitch, because it goes back to that first thing. You're going to have those regrets later on.
Absolutely.
The 5-second rule. Amazing book. Amazing.
You know, it's funny that's 2 seconds too long, because when I used to be bodybuilding and doing athlete stuff, I used to go 1, 2, 3, go. You know, so shit, that's a longer book. So you're lucky with the Mel Robbins thing.
It's good. You could just go Google it. You could just watch a 10-minute video and you'll get the crux of it. I mean, she talks about she didn't want to work out. She didn't want to do this because in that 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can come up with all those excuses. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do. If you don't give yourself that 5 seconds and you go do it, guess what? You gain momentum. You gain confidence. That becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy about, hey, I could do it. I just got out of my own way. I did 75 hard 2 years ago. I'm not going to go into it, but 75 hard, you guys can Google it. From that, I realized how much I was giving myself excuses and giving myself platitudes to go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. 75 hard, you make that commitment, you do it, you get it done, and you get stronger, period.
Absolutely. And you get stronger not only in muscles, but in your mind. And that mind, you know, it's just amazing. Get rid of the shit. I've even just really gotten rid of the sugar, man. And that's such a bad damn thing, man. I have more clarity now. I have so much clarity that I go into these rooms and I'm starting to read people. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta stop. But seriously, man, it feels great. It feels great to have that clarity.
And there's something I want to point out. 75 Hard was created by Andy Frisella, who I referenced the other day. You ever notice that there might be a correlation between the people that are the most effective at what they do and they tell you like it is, right? They don't sugarcoat it. They put it out there. You might not agree with their style. I know Andy Frisella, you know, he uses choice words a lot, right? But that's him. You either like it or you don't. But I follow him every day. You know, I podcasts, all of his, you know, his daily emails. And it's like there's something to these people like Mel Robbins. She's a no nonsense chick from Boston, right? Mm-hmm. And so if these people are telling you to do it, you either do or you don't. And I think it can be very, very simple in life that if people are giving you the gold and you're, I don't want it. Well, that's your choice.
Yeah.
But there's avenues there for you to take advantage of. And, you know, I think a lot of people get caught up into the demeanor of somebody, or they swear a lot or whatever. And it's like, well, okay.
And you know, I get in my swearing modes, but you know what? It's such a passion when I do it. I mean, it's just, and it's also a frustration because when people are asking you to help them or they have a problem and they're asking for a solution, you can't, hello, McFly, I'm here for you. So you can't want it. I used to have the desire that I wanted it for more. Yeah, I wanted more for them than they wanted for themselves, and that's a fucking sucky feeling as a coach. And
I talked about that on Clubhouse yesterday for quite a while. That very situation. Oh yeah, big time. That, you know, how do you process the fact that you want something so bad for somebody else and they don't want it? You know, that's where sometimes you have to say, hey, you know, I wish you well. Good luck with that journey.
Well, you know what?
But you just say good luck.
Right.
I'll be here when you fall down.
Well, you know, I have a solution for myself now. I feel better to say that, you know what, if people want this advice, especially when I'm getting to a point here, show me the money. We'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis and Charles, for being here, by the way.
Yes, my friend Dennis. We have like a lot of viewers right now.
Brene Brown, absolutely.
Oh, Brene is amazing. Vulnerability, the power of vulnerability, huge.
Yes. So again, we are very, very passionate. And as you can tell, we all have different coaching, our training. We're just students of just everything we read. And we're just trying to pour it back out to you guys. And I can't wait to like get into my books here. And I'm going to come back to the shows with just highlights, you know, things that their quotes and things like that just have impacted my life along the way. It's just amazing where, you know, there's signs all over the world. When you're asking the world to show you signs, there's signs everywhere of what you want. it's just like looking for those damn keys that are right in front of you, but because you don't want to see them,
hands.
And your hands are on your, glasses on your head. Oh shit, they're always on my head. Yeah, exactly. Okay, in other words, we're getting out of time.
Okay, so one more thing onto this, just to wrap it up, and then we'll move on, because I know Christopher's gotta go. Is that the base root in my understanding of training, development, working on yourself is: are you willing to confront yourself? That one right there is the most basic way that I've ever seen anybody that resists training. I can't do it because of money, blah blah blah. Are you willing to confront yourself? And if you're not,
then don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Yep.
That's just like if you're creative in the morning and you're trying to be creative at night. I might be talking about myself, but anyways, why are you forcing yourself when you're not in your stride? I find that it's so much better to wait till I'm in that creative mode than to waste my time having a fit and not enjoying it, because that's just not my pattern. So, it's just listen to yourself, get out of your way. That's it.
Well, one more thing. There, in my opinion, there's a distinction between a coach and a cheerleader.
Oh yeah.
A cheerleader is going to be somebody that's going to not look at what's missing. They're going to pat you on the butt, but really not be straight and honest with you about where you need to improve. Right. And so if you go to somebody and they're like, man, he's talking bad about me or whatever. No, you're just perceiving it that way. Right.
Yep.
So anyhow, moving on. Power of silence. Lynn, go.
Power of silence is if you put yourself in a timeout for you to be with your thoughts and to have some peace and tranquility and to calm your mind down and actually ask yourself a question, you may be amazed at the answers you get, or maybe you don't get answers at all, because maybe that's not what you should be asking or concentrating on or whatever. You need to just go with the flow of life, the flow of what's going on in your life at that moment. I combat anxiety all the time, and I put it in its place. I'm like, stop. If you go, there's parts you can't once it gets going. But when I have the feelings that it's coming on, I say, Lynn, calm down. You're not gonna be able to do anything if you admit into that motions. And all I'm saying is, just like even before pre-asthma thing, when I realized I'm having an asthma attack, I'm like, or just diving in deep water. When you're feeling like you're choking or whatever, you start concentrating on that, you're helpless. If instead say, okay, this is what it is, I'm gonna be okay, and just start focusing on being better, it really has helped me to calm the anxiety in my life. It really has helped me to say, okay, this is okay. I know what it is, but it's not going to get me, and I'm going to go through it. And the same thing with my stomach pains or anything else. It's just staying silent and just letting be, especially in those tough times. Stay silent, stay still, and thank your body. Thank your body when you're going through things like that, or thank your pain, thank your emotions, and say it's okay. So it's really important to have that silence before you start your day and before you go to bed. I'm done.
Christopher, the power of silence.
The power of silence. Wow, that is super powerful. When I was younger, I would not have been able to answer that question, because I'm like, silence, what's that? That's a waste of time. But silence really for me is we have to listen to what's not being said. We have to listen for the moments in between the sounds and be able to really relax and enjoy the peace of our lives and not have to be filled with something to do every moment or something to think about every moment. When I was younger, meditation for me, like, yeah, right, I'm going to meditate. No way. And now for me, as I've gotten older and I've had such a hamster wheel mind and ADHD on crack, is I've continuously looked for ways how I can calm the mind so I can have that peace and quiet to be able to really think on and focus on what's most important. So for the silence, you have to make that silence. You have to make that opportunity to be quiet and still in your mind, to see what comes up, to see what really matters the most. And oftentimes, especially when I think about silence, sometimes silence is really that opportunity to push in the clutch. I call it pushing in the clutch. When you're in a situation where you might be feeling anxious or angry or something like that, you're feeling like you want to react, push the clutch in and let there be some silence for a minute. Let this sit there and ask yourself, what am I making this to mean about me? Because we so often want to react to something that really doesn't mean anything about me. It's somebody just might be venting about something, but we internally take it as something and it becomes a reaction. So giving ourselves that silence and that opportunity to pause in between actions and reactions is paramount to really setting forth a foundation of solid confidence and not being in the moment to be a victim to whatever is happening in those moments. So being able to be calm with the silence and be calm with the certainty of knowing what's going to happen next based on how you react to it or respond to it is amazing. So I love the power of silence.
Can I just add the fact that it also can alleviate a lot of regrets of either actions or words you say to somebody. So there.
So the power of silence for me is every morning having this picture in my head that I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, I'm going to read, I'm going to gather my thoughts before the world is opening up, if you will, and getting myself clear. And I know clearly with my anxiety and my depression, if I don't do this on a daily basis, I'm like the hamster on the hamster wheel versus somebody that's grounded in what's important to me. Plus, with the power of silence, the creativity just blossoms because your brain is not trying to figure it out. You're in a calm place. And for me, a cup of coffee, a nice book, amazing discipline. So.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
Woohoo! We're at church now, baby.
No,
brother.
Actually, I took singing lessons. That was the first song they made us sing as a group, and I'm like, I've heard this song. I don't know how the words go, and we're all singing it. They're like, a wretch like me, just going crazy. But you guys are amazing. So here's what I'm going to do. So I have to take off, but here's what I'm doing. I'm going to go with you guys mobile. So,
awesome.
So I'm actually going to go on my phone. They're going to do this roving thing. We're going to make your show even more crazy. So I am going to jump in here. You're going to see me here in a second, pop up in the backstage there, Lynn. And look at that.
There he is.
I'll sign you off on the other one. Wait, I can't hear you. Wait, nope, that one's muted. Hold on.
Oh, I didn't realize you took me off yet. So I'll be off. Whoops.
Okay. Yep. Unmute yourself. I thought I always say that at Clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean,
there we go.
Unmute yourself. So here we are. We're going to do something cool and crazy. So go ahead and come up with the next word, and you guys take that, and then I'm going to take you guys with me.
Because today's improv day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
Now, Lynn, we got quite a few, so we got to make these short and concise because we got quite a few words left, okay which is great. It's a great problem to have. Okay. So let's do the next word that you go is interpretation.
If we don't get through my interpretation is if we don't get through all that, we can put it on Pam's thing and really do. So we're good. So no rush there. Okay. Interpretation is that you can think we're running out of time and need to get this done. And my interpretation is, hey, we are not going to rush the moment because the moment is perfect to be in this time. So interpretation can be anything you want at any moment. And you can also, if you do the yes and instead of, well, no, but yes and go forward, life is so much better. I'm done.
And to those of you that don't know, yes and is a fundamental behavior and a discipline of improv, right? Because when you say yes and, it allows breathability, it allows things to move forward. Because if you say no but or yes but, it completely negates what you said before and what you're doing after. And obviously when you're doing scene work or anything like that or team exercises, the more that you want things to move forward, you don't want them to stall. So interpretation to me, it just like perceived value, just like perception, is that we each have these interpretations like of that dining experience or whatever, and it's coveted, right? It's something that is true to us, and to respect our perceptions, and our interpretations of a situation. And it's like, we have this interpretation. Does the other person or whoever with have the same interpretation? And obviously, if they do, we're on the same page. But if they vary, that's where we need to be clear so everybody's on the same page. So to me, interpretations, it might just be a word, but it marries very well with perception and how coveted that how they think about things is, because it's true to them.
Christopher, do we have Christopher?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to wait for the car to probably take
Am I
Bluetooth.
still here?
Yep.
Yeah, you're here.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, it might switch from my earbuds to my Bluetooth, but
Yep.
what was the interpretation? Yeah, interpretation is again, it's another opportunity for us not to assume. It's an opportunity for us to let me know if I drop out, but
okay.
For us to really clarify what it is that what we're doing, and making sure that we're maximizing the use of our understanding about the situations, because I've seen so many people who have gotten so screwed up because of their misunderstanding of their interpretation or their assumption of something, and it only takes a few minutes to be able to clarify.
Oh, you're muted. His Bluetooth is probably, we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, we'll get him in a minute. It'll be fine. So he'll be back in a second.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's keep it moving. And that great idea, Lynn, is that any words, Pamela? So you'll have like 2 weeks of words then. So
yeah, I think that's great, because if
idea.
you're going for the flow, then that barrel could be freaking ass huge.
Okay,
he's
Christopher's back with us. Christopher's back with us.
Yeah, Christopher.
Can we hear you?
Can you hear us? Nope, we don't hear you. He's probably going from his internet at home to his Wi-Fi, probably. Right. So that's what happens in mine when I'm no biggie.
Or from his Bluetooth in his car between his pods, or okay,
it'll work.
Okay, so let's keep moving for a few more minutes, and we thank all of our loyal listeners for being with us, and anybody catching the replay. Fridays are Lynn and I's improv day, so we're doing everything all about self-help. Any words or phrases that we came up with throughout the week. So the next one I'll take, so we keep it moving, is self-education. I always go back to Jim Rohn. Traditional education can make you a living, but self-education can make you a fortune. It's what you do in addition to whatever. You're on your own path. You read as many books as you want, because it's something within you that you want to be the standard. You want to be the best you can be, and nobody can ever take that away from you. That's what I got from self-education.
Ooh, self-education.
That's the word. Yes. Did you have any more to add with your interpretation? I think you did a pretty good rendition, but I'm just checking.
No, I'm good with that one.
All right.
Okay. So, Lynn, you want to go?
No, we can let him go and answer.
So self-education, Christopher.
Self-education is supremely important. OMG. If you don't know the answer to something, go out and learn it. I mean, it's crazy. We have Google and YouTube. People sit there and say, I don't know how to cook healthy. If you don't go out and self-educate, I mean, there is so many opportunities. There's podcasts, there's YouTube shows, there's Clubhouse. There is zero excuse for you guys not to self-educate, to be enrolling in classes and to invest yourself into becoming better. Listen, I have learned the way the society is and humanity is right now, it is all going to be about leveling the playing field, so that we're all going to have an opportunity to be really good at a lot of things. But here's the most important thing: what are you going to be great at? Right? We could be good at a lot of things. So getting a coach, getting an accountability partner, getting somebody to magnify where it is you're now. I wish I would have gotten a coach in my 30s. I didn't. I said I didn't need one. I was even a coach. I was like, I don't need a coach. I got it all figured out. And I did a great job. I did a good job. But if I had a coach, if I'd invested that money that I put towards my credit card bill that just went back up anyway, if I'd invested that money in myself, guess what the ROI would have been? Yep. A lot. So yeah, we got to invest in ourselves big time. Ooh, yes.
Love it.
All right, Lynn, you're up.
So self-education is something that if you feel that you lack something, you lack no more, because you at least have it in your head. You can be aware that you're not self-educated, and that is not a problem you need to have. You can get a quick fix on YouTube, or better yet, if you don't want to self-educate yourself enough, surround yourself with people that are educated in that area. Let them handle it until you're educated it too. So in other words, don't say, oh man, I don't think I know enough about this app. I'm going to have to take a class. Oh, hell no. Get in the app, fuddle around until you get somebody to help you. It's no excuse not to say you're not self-educating yourself, or you're not educated yourself, not to take action in that direction. Just go ahead and be on the job self-education to where you want to be. I'm done.
Okay, we're down to 2 more words, and then we'll save the remaining 3 for next week. So Pamela will have.
He's so excited about saving them now.
I am.
Save the good ones for her.
We'll have to dig down deep for our topic next week, so it's just bing, 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 word after word after word.
Nice. Oh, anyways, buddy.
Okay, so Lynn, this is another Lynnism, so you're welcome. And humdinger, Lynn, what say you to humdinger?
Oh, humdinger and self-help. Let me tell you, if you don't know what the humdinger is, you better go educate yourself. You get a lot of aha moments that could be a humdinger and could change your life. And truly, until you're open your mind to learn and to observe and to search for what you're looking for, you're not going to find it. So open your mind, open your heart to realize what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, but the humdinger is when you figured out that you didn't know it and you got your answers, life is so much better. I'm done.
Boom.
Christopher?
Christopher.
I actually, this will probably be one of my shortest answers. It really parallels on what you just said. The humdinger is the fact that when we realize that we're the ones that are sabotaging our own self. My tagline is I help people overcome their self-created crap without the self-help bullshit. And sometimes I get pushback. They're like, what do you mean self-created crap? I'm like, we all create our own crap. We all perpetuate the perceptions and the assumptions and everything else we just talked about. We perpetuate those lies in our own brain to sabotage. Are told when we're younger that we don't deserve it. So the humdinger is look in the accountability mirror, and if you're miserable, it's on you.
Love it. We're breaking up a little bit, Christopher.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay, so for me, humdinger is the difference between you fill the gaps of what's missing in your life, right? It's kind of like a breakthrough. You see something that you've never seen before, and it's like, whoa. It stops you dead in your tracks. And who knows how long you've been looking for it, but there's just a moment when it's like, oh, wow, this piece that was missing, I now have. And I can use it, it's my own creation. I can use it however I want. And it's something that you hold on to forever. That's when I think of humdinger, that's what.
Wow. We got one more to wrap it up before Christopher has to leave us. So
correct.
Christopher, can you hear us? Can you talk?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can talk.
Okay, perfect. Just checking.
Okay. So the next word is your purpose or purpose. And I'll go first to speed it up. Purpose is it's something that's self-defined. You determine what you're here to do and why, it only has to make sense to you. And it's something that you reinforce all the time. Whatever your purpose is tomorrow might only be a fraction of what it is tomorrow, what it is today and tomorrow. And so it's self-defined and it nurtures. You always update it. It's kind of like your life story. What do you want it to be? And it only needs to make sense to you. And it pulls you to where you need to be. That's what purpose is to me.
I love it. Christopher?
Purpose. Woo-wee. Purpose is why you get up in the morning. Purpose is why we smile. Purpose is the opportunity to leave a legacy that we are going to be proud of, ultimately for what we do every single day in our life. I wake up every day with a purpose because I wrote my eulogy many years ago, back in 2008. I came back from a funeral and I asked myself this question. I said, if I died tomorrow, who would come and what would they say about me? Who would come and what would they say about me? And I realized I had a purpose in the world, but it wasn't really well defined at that moment. It was hazy and it was unclear. But when I went and I wrote my eulogy, the thing that we say about we have people say about us at our funerals, the crux of it was that Christopher Raush will have fought for what was right and what was fair. He will have risked sports that mattered, and he will have left the earth a better place for who he was and what he did. So I wake up every day and I set my intention, I set my gratitude before my eyes even open, and then I get started on the day. So I use that silence we talked about, that opportunity for silence, to set the intention of the day, what we want to do. And so when you have purpose and you have that mission in life, when you have the rough days and you get knocked down a little bit, you go back to that purpose, you go back to that legacy, you go back to what we talked about earlier in here about the two choices. Do I want to live a life of regrets and be able to get to old age and think about all the things I didn't do? Or am I going to get to old age and be like, hell yeah, I rocked it, I did it, I took chances, I lived my life. go read the book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying. If you want a wake-up call, go read that book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, and that will shape you up. So that's my thoughts on purpose. Thank you, guys.
I'm going to make this quick so we can say goodbye to Chris, and you and I will be here, because purpose is basically all you guys said, plus the fact that purposely make sure that you're doing things that make your heart sing, make you happy, be purposeful to yourself, and that's being kind and love, and let go of being shamed and being angry at yourself. Just be purposeful on living your truth. So Christopher, I can't thank you enough for being here. We love you. I know you need to get in there for your massage. I love you, brother. I'll see you in the club.
Thanks for being here, Christopher.
Lynn, Brian, you guys are truly, truly amazing. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing to have you guys in my life. Misfits for life. I love the fact that you guys are just real deal, authentic people, bringing the warts and all, to your shows every week, and bringing the heart and soul. Having me on, it just means the world to me. We're just going to continue having more of these discussions, more of these opportunities to impact the individuals who watch us and follow us. And to both of you, just keep shining your bright light, keep sharing your gift. And I love you both very, very much. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And yes, I'm going to go get manipulated, so I hopefully can get out of a little bit of pain. And then we'll rock and roll. So I love you guys. Peace out. And I will see you guys later. Cheers.
Okay,
Thank you,
honey.
Christopher.
Bye. Man, what a show. This has been awesome. This has been, look at it, we're at an hour. We should be shutting it down now. Brian, Fridays will always be a day. I look forward to every day.
Me too.
Just the fact that we're bringing people in and doing this, doesn't it just feel good to be around people?
It feels great. Plus, I mean, we don't know what this is going to look like. I mean, without everybody watching us, we don't really have a reason for being, and so we are nothing without the people that watch us. So it's like we're always trying new things. We don't know where they're going to go, but it's not a failure. It's an opportunity. And so, when it comes to Fridays, I mean, I'm an improv person, so instead of we going back and forth like interview style, I love it when we can throw new things at it and we can be in the moment with each other a little bit more.
Yeah, I love it too.
One thing I want to share with everybody before we send everybody off to the weekend is that 2 weeks from today, March 26th, I just looked at it on the calendar, we want to have somebody join us on the show. So just like what Christopher did here today, we want to be a week or two ahead of this just so we can know who's going to join us. So if you want to join us on our Friday show to do improv based on what we're talking about and quick-witted banter back and forth, we'd love to hear from you and see if you want to join us.
That's a special day, you guys. That is going to be my grandson's first birthday. And all I got to say is he was born and had to go home and be restricted because of the whole COVID thing. And that was very traumatic time for my daughter, but what a blessing a year later, and he's here, and what a difference a day makes, a minute makes, a second makes. We are so thankful and proud and just happy of the people that follow us, and you're the good wood, not the wet wood in my life.
In improv, that's called a callback, where something that you talked about earlier is brought back again. It's called a callback, and Lynn did it to perfection right there. Yeah.
So later, my wet wood drive.
Lynn's gonna go find some wet wood this weekend.
Because you guys ignite my fire within me. I absolutely.
Oh my God! Now you're gonna light your fire and wet your wood. Wow, what a how better do you send out people to a weekend with that in one statement? I'm gonna light my fire with wet wood.
And Chris wasn't here. I'm gonna have to take this clip out and play it because I can't believe.
Absolutely not. It's all real and raw.
Oh my gosh.
If that doesn't set everybody off to a great weekend, try in conversation with the family and friends. We'd be interested to find out on Monday, how many ways can you say light my fire and wet wood and people still want to talk to you after you use that in the same sentence?
Only my tribe would know about wet wood.
Yeah, what's the password?
You know what, Pam? When you're here, we're gonna have to talk about "Come On, Baby, Light My Fire." That's a very interesting, endearing story. But anyways, we really got to get going, you guys. Yeah. We love you. We are honored that you're here, and I just can't.
If you want to be a guest co-host with us in 2 weeks, not next week, but in 2 weeks, we would love to hear from you and bring you up on our show, and so you can play with us.
Absolutely. That don't sound right. Goodbye.